I appreciate your worry. Seriously, I said, almost from the corridor. But I don't need it, thank you very much. I waved a goodbye without looking at them. Nobody talked. The shop girl not even looked up from the comic book she was reading. The streets was getting cold and dark. It crossed my mind going back to the safe house, but just for a few seconds. Nor I didn't remember the way, nor I had nothing to do there. As it still wasn't pitch dark, as there were people by the street, as it seemed there wasn't curfew, I went around the city trying to guess the changes more carefully than in the morning. I liked blue. It was nicer to the eye. I thought about going to the government seat. I believed it was the same, that it was on the same place, that it only had changed the color. I wasn't wrong. It was on the same place, and it was other color. But maybe I didn't measure it well, the dimension of the similarity. The protection was more obvious than in the yellow. A word every 2 steps. Great lightning, and several security cameras that looked like working. It's going to be complex. I got surprised thinking about Victoria's words. It may be true I could travel in time, and that it was useful to commit an offense with impunity. But there, standing, facing the greatest exhibition of power ever seen, nearer than ever from an army, I realized that the merit wasn't on the flee thing. The merit was on the going in thing. People walked impassive in front of the words. As there were marble lions where I saw wild feline ready to attack. Excuse me, do you know at what time does the museum close? One woman with 2 kids in each hand asked me. No, sorry, I don't, I answered. I couldn't hide the surprise it meant someone talked to me. It wasn't the usual. If it closes at 8, it isn't worthwhile to go. Tickets are really expensive. The woman worked her finances out. The kids looked at her with indifference. Maybe one of the girls knows, I suggested. They? She said disdainfully. I didn't remember a museum. I had heard the word in a girl's comment, and just not to look stupid, I looked it up in one of the dictionaries Grandpa had into a box covered in dust he had in his workshop. Lady, excuse me! The woman hurried up after a woman that was passing by, pulling the kids. I observed the scene from the distance. I was curious to know where the museum was. I wanted to see it. She was an easy target for kids messing up behind a woman. The other woman might say she was plenty of time, because she waved goodbye with a smile and began to walk with determined steps. The kids ran. I must admit I got disappointed at first. The woman, followed by the 4 kids, stopped in front of the building I knew as Super Bargains. My Super Bargains. It was different. It had a stoned front. Not blue, stoned. Without flashy signs. Without any sign, really. It seemed more majestic, more elegant, more everything. The woman went to the box office at the left, took money from the purse, and they gave some little papers with which the woman could go in, followed by the 4 kids. I approached. Above the box office there was a poster with the prices. It wasn't that expensive, but I had no money. I had a quick look through the big door. There was silence inside. Marble flooring, big chandeliers falling from the ceiling. The walls weren't painted, the lighting cozy. On one side there was a man sitting behind a table. He was keeping the little papers the woman gave him. At the corridor there was an arch that led to a huge room. Over the arch, with dull golden metal letters, you could read, "Art is the essence of life." Fascinating! A man with a drawing book under his arm pushed me aside to go in, giving me back to the stark reality of being broke. I have to start to steal right now, I decided. However, this right now wasn't as immediate as it should. Turning the head to go back, I saw the building. I saw my home.